20 something. I don't know. Either way, still me, Ramon Durant, and today I just had a simple question. It's a question that I have attempted to even ask myself, and I haven't come up with an answer. So maybe somebody could help me. Those of you who take the time to listen. The question to myself was, where are my problems coming from? Which means the origin, where the problems that I am, well, not even necessarily problems, circumstances that I am currently in. I have wondered to myself, where have they come from? And I would that you would ask yourself the same thing. Where are my problems coming from? And as I thought about it, and me being who I am when I tend to ask questions, I ask God too. I don't just ask me, because obviously I don't know the answer. So I have to go to someone who does. So I ask him, where are my problems coming from? And he made it clear to me through the thought process that they are coming from my emotions. Now, this, in a sense, is every circumstance. Every situation that I could consider myself in, being a part of, sustaining the life of a situation. Yes, I am in a few of them, and I have recognized that most of them come from some emotions. I felt like doing a particular thing. I felt like saying a particular thing. I felt like moving a particular way. And because I felt like it, which means it came connected to some kind of emotion, I allowed it to physically manifest itself, whether it be in paying for a thing, giving a person a ride, anything you have to physically participate in based on an emotion. It's probably where all of your circumstances, whether they be good or bad, that is where they have come from. We have given emotions so much power in our lives that we no longer know how to control them. They just run around controlling us. Whatever we feel like doing, we have justified it somehow in our minds, and we go ahead and we do it. We physically follow every, or just about every emotion that comes strong enough to move you. And I do the same thing sometimes, but I have prayed and asked God to fix that about me, because I've realized that emotions were not given to us to control or even participate in situations. They were only given to us to get through them. If you consider death in regards to crying and every emotion you feel when you lose a person close to you that you will never physically see again, from our viewpoint, those emotions do not control the situation, because after it is all done and you've wiped your last tear, the person is still gone. So your emotions have not controlled the situation. That's the perfect example. But it did get you through it. Every time you cried, every happy, sad, frustrating, angry thought you had got you through the process, and it did not control it. It controlled you in it. Through your emotions and not allowing them to manifest themselves, you have then persevered through a situation. And I would just encourage you to continue to do so. If you find yourself in a situation you cannot control and you don't quite know what to do, the last thing I would encourage you to do, the last thing I would not even encourage you to do it, is to follow the emotions connected to it, because that is where our circumstances come from. Imagine the person who loses the person close to him, not even to death, but just loses a significant other. And we go through so many different things in those situations when we lose people to whatever circumstance. There is a physical cost you have to pay for that. But based on the decisions you make in the middle of the emotions during that process, that's where you start to bring on new circumstances. Although the emotions were not given to you for that particular purpose, they were given to us to just get through the circumstance. Your emotions will never control a circumstance. So I encourage you to continue to pray that God, if that's you, just continue to pray that you would not follow every single emotion because it just might satisfy your flesh. You are much more valuable, much more valuable, much more valuable than the skin you're in. That is just the outer shell of you, and some people have taken it as your representation because you look a certain way. But I would encourage you to even get past your own flesh, because sometimes we do start to believe what other people see without even using our own mirrors. We sometimes believe what people say of us. So we have to even pray that our perception would be God's perception of us, which would be the only true perception. If we have sense enough to give him rights to creation of us, if he actually has the patent to creating us, then he knew what he was doing, and whatever he made had way more to do with what he gave you in an outer sense, just your skin and your flesh and everything connected to your natural being. You're much more valuable than that. He gave you something else, like a gift or something. He probably gave you a gift, something you can do so well that you don't have to think about it when you do it. Those type of things. The book says that a man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. So, if you use them, there will be certain things based on God's favor and your agreeance to yield to him. You're going to get some of the things that you need. It's that simple. Today's video was random. It was just on my mind. I didn't write anything down. So, still bear with me though. If you are encouraged, be encouraged. That is my objective. It is not about agreeing with every single thing I say. The objective is to change your way of thinking. That's it. The body follows the mind, and wherever you can take the mind, the body does have the strength to physically follow. That's why it is placed in your mind, because your body can physically agree with it and act it out. Now it's a process, but either way, there's no particular situation that God exposes you to that he has not prepared you for. And it's pretty simple. I don't care what emotions are connected to the circumstance. You are prepared in every sense to deal with it if he exposes you to it. So with all common sense, pray and ask God to be closer to what he would have you to be, rather than man and our perceptions and opinions. Pray that he would help us, because I deal with it too, to let those things go and start to live in a sense that we know who we are and that we have a purpose far beyond walking around in flesh that breaks and skin that tears these things shut down too. I have to be more valuable than this. You all have a blessed day. I pray that you continue to pray for me as I do the same for you. And, find somewhere for God to use you. Let him use you.